I managed to bust through another paper pad and again wanted to share with you the goodies I was able to create. Hey guys, it's Beth. Welcome. I have been trying to work through some of those non-holiday themed paper pads and collections that I have this year. So far in the last couple months, I've used like the space themed one. You'll see here at the end of this month, my small pad was kind of another interesting themed pad, and then I did this princess pad. So I believe this had 24 sheets. I don't remember. I used the rest of the cover for some projects, but I've had this for a long time. Somebody gave me this when my girls were little, and I just never... I've used princess stuff when I do my scrapbook pages for them, but I just never really did like a specific Disney princess. So had the pad, girls are older, so I decided that I would use it for something else. So I had the idea that it might make a fun journal. So that's what I started with. And I made 2 of them. And they're pretty much identical other than some of the sticker embellishments that I used in here because I only had one set of each of the stickers. But the rest of the journals are the same. So I just picked one of the papers that had all of the Disney princesses. I know there's more princesses, but this is all the ones that the pad included. That had all the princesses on one, and it worked out well that it was on the right-hand side of the page so that when I folded it, it made my cover. The only wax thread I have is this kind of like tan thread, so I went ahead and used that. But then I did bring in some pink seam binding for my closure here. And then I did laminate it. And then on the inside, I brought in some other papers as well. I had some other princess-themed papers in my stash, so that would be a good way to use them up as well. So like I had this princess vellum. And then I just, for the tuck spots I either did just some cardstock. I had some colored index cards, so it'd be fun journaling. And then this was just a random sheet from my stash. I had 2 of these cute little like waxy bags, and so I thought that would be cute in here, like with the colors. And then in them I put some of the leftover stickers I had some washi tape that's princess. I didn't even use it on the journal itself, so I included some in each of the journals, and then just some leftover stickers that I had. And then I did embellish. I had a bunch of princess stickers. I had one that was like all the Disney princesses, one that was just Ariel, just Rapunzel, and just Tiana, and then I did have some Princess Once Upon a Time stickers from Echo Park. So I used all of those up, either in the journal or, with the excess being in here. And then also I used up pretty much the whole roll of washi tape to give what was left. And what's left on here, it's like it's not coming off very well. So I'm counting that as done. So then I just embellished both sides with Ariel just because I thought it reminded me of bubbles in the water. Took whatever scraps I had and kind of just added some embellishments to the pages. So not every page has something, but most, if the paper isn't very like fun, if it's not like a really fun pattern, I did try and add something to it. And then also we didn't have any princess books anymore, or at least none that I was willing to tear into, but we did have a Belle coloring book, and so I picked some coloring pages just to throw in there. And then this is like a shimmery vellum that I had, and I have like just flaps and folds and tuck spots. Just kind of some fun interactive elements. This is a double pocket made with scraps. And I just stamped on, I like stamping on vellum in journals because you can see it from both sides, so it's just kind of fun. So the pages that had the princesses on them, like I tended to make those like some foldable pages. Did bring in a doily. This was not with the pad, but it was just a fun, I had it with some of my princess stuff, so I don't remember if it was like a specific Disney brand or whatever, but I just thought it was cute and it worked with the blues, so I threw it in here. And then I also had in my stash a bunch of these crowns that I had die cut a long time ago, and so I was able to use those up. This, when I thought about, I usually like to add something in the middle that covers my strings from my binding. And normally I have like a bigger scrap that I can turn into a pocket, but this was such a small piece that I ended up just gluing it together, and it's just kind of like a fun little flap. But it was kind of an afterthought, so I didn't have any big scrap pieces left anymore. So just, this is kind of like an angled double pocket that I had made out of scraps and some white cardstock. So just some fun. That was a scrap from this pocket that I was just able to use on a page. I lit the flap piece. I had some crown brads, and I, at the end, thought to, as an afterthought, thought to use one on that little tag that I turned into a pocket. So just a bunch of, that's a tuck spot that I forgot to tuck something into. Here's another like pocket side loading pocket, double pocket that I made from scraps. And all of these, other than I think the angled pocket, I think is the only one I haven't made with you guys in another video. And that was just, I had some of these wider strips left to use, and I wanted to do something slightly different than that pocket. So here's the other side of that glossing bag. Stamped on it, just a regular pocket across, and then that is the end. So like I said, I have two of those, and that used up the bulk of the paper. So then I took all the scraps I had from the princess pad and from the other papers that I brought in, and I made 12 cards, and I thought these would be good for Cards for Cubs. I have a lot of like boy themed cards with the 6x6 pad that I did, and then with that space themed one. So I thought I needed to balance it out just a little and add some girl cards. So I did use some sketches to help me work through these. This is Mojo Monday, sketch number 361. Just brought in 2 different patterns. And most of my sentiments are wishing you a magical day that I just stamped in some bright pink ink. And I used 2 sizes of those little crowns to use those up. This is Operation Right Home, sketch number 218. And used a couple different patterns on this one, and then brought in stickers to embellish. This is just a random one I did that had I had 2 strips left, or more than that, but I had these 2 strips left, and I thought, oh, I could kind of put those together for a mat. And then this was actually a princess sticker that we got from, I think, a doctor's appointment. They always got like some kind of like Disney or kid themed sticker at the end of each appointment. And so we had one that didn't end up being stuck to anything. It was still on its backer sheet. So I included that here, and then brought in some of the epoxy diamonds from that Echo Park enamel shape set. This is Mojo Monday, sketch number 567. And it just was trying to use up some of the last bits. I still had some wider strips left, so I thought this would be a good way to use those, and also a way to bring in some of those smaller scraps. And then I did bring in, I have some white, a bunch of white vinyl strips that I had cut out of some scrap vinyl that are very, I use them like the peel-offs from Love from Lizzie. They're just ones that I had made myself with some scrap vinyl. And then I also embellished with some of those epoxy stickers. This is Operation Home sketch number 56. And then again, just embellished with some stickers, used several different patterns of paper. And I ended up getting 4 of these, just trying to use up the papers I had left. Some of the papers were big enough that I could use them as a card mat for the background. So those were the cards I made. These will be sent off here in a few days to Cards for Cubs because I'm pushing the deadline here, getting stuff ready. And then the pad cover had like strips of like strip previews of the paper. Now that's always perfect for bookmarks. So I'm kind of collecting the kid theme bookmarks I have and trying to decide where I want to donate those. I don't know if I want to maybe try and get them to our local library for the summer reading program because they do sometimes give out bookmarks as prizes. It just depends on how many I end up having. Otherwise, I may hold on to them and I can kind of collect more for next year. But so this is the second non-holiday kind of kid-themed pattern collection that I've been able to use up so far this year, like the 12 by 12 size. So I'm excited because I have a bunch of these left in my bins. So I think I am going to do a post, like on the community tab, just kind of do a post and have you guys vote on which, like I'll pull out some other collections pads and see what you guys might like to see next. So keep an eye out for a post that has some of those options for you. But that's my share. 2 journals, some more Cards for Cubs cards, and then not only did I use up the paper pad, but I also busted 5 sets of like stickers or embellishments, and then this washi tape that is just not very good down here at the very end of what is left. So that was nice as well. That was a nice bonus, but hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, got some useful inspiration. Thank you guys so much for your time today, and hope you all have a very crafty day.